Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's MMA Cycles Market Update. This is your host, Gianni DePoce. It's great to be back with you. It's been a pretty wild week across several markets, an intense period of geocosmic activity as well. We started off the week with a trine between the Sun and Pluto. That was on the 18th of September. We then had a trine between Venus and Uranus. And both of those signatures were pertinent because we saw big moves in interest rates, and Pluto rules debt. And we saw breaks of key resistance and support across several markets. And we know that Uranus signatures are notorious for such. So let me go ahead and share my screen here so we can check out what happened in the Dow Jones. We've made a new low, a new cycle low for this pullback, indicating that bears are still very much in control of this market. Dow is leading the way lower. S&P tested its lows from earlier this year, but Dow took out its low from June. So that is a typical Uranian signature break of support right around this zone here between in that $30,000 area. So the fact that we didn't see the NASDAQ make a new low does offer the bulls some hope in the short term, but we still have some key signatures coming up in these next few days. We have an opposition between Venus and Neptune on the 24th of September, followed by an opposition between the Sun and Jupiter. And between those two signatures, with Neptune making the opposition with Venus and the opposition between the Sun and Jupiter, I think that we are in a prime environment from those aspects for market hysteria, because Neptune tends to create a sense of delusion, hysterical reactions, and Jupiter exaggerates. So look for some emotions to be heightened in the following week. And then we have a trine between Venus and Pluto on the same day as the opposition between the Sun and Jupiter on the 26th. I want to take a moment to look at interest rates as well, because this is really driving so many trends in the markets here. The 10-year Treasury yield rallied to a new high before pulling back into the close a little bit on Friday. We also next week are looking at a trine between Mars and Saturn on the 28th, followed by Venus ingressing into her ruling sign, or the sign that she rules, of Libra on the 29th of September. And then Venus will also form an opposition to Jupiter on the 1st of October. So again, all these oppositions with Jupiter involved and Neptune, there's going to be a lot of heightened emotions, hysteria, and a lot of times we see meaningful reversals during those periods. So we need to be on our toes for perhaps a reversal of the moves that we saw in the last couple of weeks. But when we look at the US dollar, the rising interest rates are really just sucking in capital into dollars. But that's not really going into stocks, as you can see, because the stocks are down. It's not going into bonds because interest rates are up, meaning bond prices are down. So the whole world wants dollars, but it's really just in cash. So it's really a risk-off environment right now. The dollar hit a 20-plus year high on Friday as well. So it's looking pretty bullish. This is one of the cleanest trends in the entire financial marketplace right now. And keep in mind that we just passed the midpoint of Mercury retrograde. So the fact that we didn't see a meaningful reversal during this period, we want to look toward the end of Mercury retrograde on the 2nd of October for another potential reversal. So let me go ahead and pull up a chart of crude oil as well, because crude oil cracked and closed at a new multi-month low. Now trading at levels not seen since the beginning of the year in early January. So now that crude is at a new multi-month low, it's definitely in a more defensive posturing. But keep in mind, the planets that rule crude oil are Jupiter and Neptune, and we have quite a few signatures, as we just reviewed, in the next week or so pertaining to crude oil. So we need to be attentive to a potential reversal in crude oil as well. Last market I wanted to look at is Bitcoin. Ray and I have been discussing this for quite some time, how Bitcoin and Ethereum have been declining into their 4-year cycle lows, due sometime in the near future. But with one planetary signature that I really want to emphasize, as our work has shown, is Venus going into Libra. That tends to lead to higher levels of volatility with the crypto market. And we know that ingress is beginning on the 29th of September. So definitely keep an eye on the cryptocurrency market in the next week, because we have historical precedence for large price moves in this space. So that pretty much takes care of what I wanted to talk about today. Thank you so much for watching. We did publish a new MMA ETF report this past week on the 21st of September. It was really good timing because it was a few hours before my son was born. So Ray announced it on the Twitter page. Just thought I would share it with the YouTube viewers as well. So it's been an interesting week, to say the least. Very excited, very happy, but period of adjustment, I think, for us all. But in the meantime, we'll still be catching up on market reports and keeping you updated on what our outlook is. Check us out at www.mmacycles.com. And we also are giving you good updates on the cryptocurrency report. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.